Hi everyone, my name is Al. If you've not been here before, this is my channel. Welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a digital painting in honor of the month of May. It is going to be a mermaid for Mermay. Traditionally, I think you're meant to do like one painting a day. I do not have the time to do that, but I will be doing just my one obligatory mermaid in honor of the month. And we're also going to be talking about NFTs. Now, if you don't know what an NFT is, don't worry about it. I will be explaining that at the very beginning. I'm going to be addressing 3 of my main problems with NFTs, and I'm going to be starting off with the one that I find least of a problem to the one that I find the worst thing. Obviously, you have to take some of this with a pinch of salt. Most of it is my opinion, and whilst I have read a lot and tried to be as informed as I can, obviously a lot of these things matter on your perspective about different things like Bitcoin and etc. anyway, and also how you think artists should sell their art and if there is a market for them in the Bitcoiny NFT invisible world. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If there's something that you really want to see content wise, just pop a comment below, and don't forget to click on the bell button so that you will be notified in the future when I post another video. So let's start at the beginning, a very good place to start. What is an NFT, Al? An NFT stands for non-fungible token. And a non-fungible token is a completely unique, one-of-a-kind item. It cannot be traded. So for example, the antithesis of this would be if you had a £10 note and you traded that for 2 £5 notes, you are receiving something of the exact same value. You cannot do that with an NFT. It is unique. Now, NFTs are made on the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum is a cryptocurrency, and the blockchain is effectively a digital ledger. The NFT is tokenized using a completely unique code that goes into the digital ledger. Now, an NFT can be made into other things besides art. It doesn't have to be an art piece. There have been NFTs that are memes, that are tweets. People are tokenizing other people's tweets. Why you would want to purchase that, I have no idea. There have also been musical albums and also things like short films. Now, why are digital artists creating an NFT? This one is so much easier for me to understand. Basically, digital artists have never before had a way that they can sell their art in the same way that a traditional artist can. A traditional artist creates their original artwork and they can sell that original painting for far more than they can a print, for example, in a gallery or to an individual buyer. But if you're a digital artist, you don't have an original copy, physical, tangible item to give away. Unless you're giving away your computer, it doesn't work that way. You create a JPEG which becomes a copy, so all your prints become copies and it stops being original and thus has slightly less value. Now, having made your digital art piece into an NFT, now you have a completely unique code that is associated with the artwork. So you can say that this is completely unique, this digital painting is an original. Effectively, that's the idea. Obviously, the other reason I can see for making an NFT is that it's just fun and people are curious and interested in that world and seeing how they can reach new art markets and new people. What you receive when you buy an NFT is you receive a print of the picture that you have purchased, a bit like anybody else could, and the code. Anybody and this has always been the problem with digital art, anybody can copy and paste that artwork and have it on their computer. I can go onto my computer right now and I can copy and paste or download the Every Days, the First 5,000 Days, which was a painting by a digital artist called Beeple. This particular painting sold at Christie's auction house for just over $69 million. And I can go and find that picture and have it on my computer, and it is an exact replication. Obviously, with traditional art, if you were to create a print of it, you lose the texture of the medium and things like that. And so if you were to create a print of the Mona Lisa, for example, it wouldn't be exactly the same. But if you download the digital NFT, it is exactly the same. So there are people spending thousands and millions of whatever currency, and you can go and get those things for free, guys. You just have to go and find them and download them. And that I find very difficult to kind of understand why you would want to do that. So if you're listening and you're now super interested and you're like, oh my goodness, I want to make my own NFT, hold fire. Don't do it just yet. Because this leads on perfectly to my first point, my first problem with NFTs. And this one is purely speculation, which is why it's going to be the first one and definitely not the most serious one. But it's that I don't think the people spending all of that money on NFTs, I don't think they care about art. I don't think that those individuals bought those pieces of art because they thought, wow, I really am inspired and I love that. I think they just did it because it's a trend and they can make a lot of money from it. And most of them have been resold. And sometimes this works for the artist because they can enter a smart contract whereby every time their artwork gets sold on again, they receive a percentage of the income, of the profits. In the same way, I'm sure that royalties work for authors. But I don't know, call it my instinct or whatever, but I just don't. I think someone who's spending $69 million on a piece of artwork that's a digital picture, I just don't think they care about the artwork. I think they care about money. And I'm absolutely sure that maybe that's partly cynical, and it's definitely not everyone. It certainly does not apply to loads of like younger artists and less well-known artists have put their work up on the NFT marketplaces. And those pictures, which have got good artwork and really good artwork, they're not selling. It's a really specific kind of thing that is selling well, and it's normally sort of neon colors, bright colors. And from what I can tell, I mean, this doesn't include people because he actually is a credited artist, but a lot of the things, for example, the memes, the artwork isn't good. It's a meme. It's rubbish. It's the same with some of the tweets, and this just solidifies my opinion of this. If you're spending loads and loads and ridiculous amounts of money on a tweet or on a meme, then you have more money than sense, frankly. And yeah, the cynic in me says that a lot of those artworks are just being used to transfer cryptocurrency and crypto money, and it's not the art or appreciation of the artwork. Now, my second point, and probably the biggest criticism that I've heard against NFTs so far, has been its environmental impact. And when I first heard this, I was so confused. I was thinking, well, how can digital pictures hurt the environment? I had pictures of like computers burning forest trees in my head. I was so confused. But obviously it's to do with the amount of energy consumption. And again, I was so ignorant to how much energy consumption these computers are using. To understand why this happens, we have to delve a little bit into how cryptocurrency works. Again, I'm sorry, I'll be brief. So basically, what happens with things like Ethereum is that the computers are running software to mine things called blocks, and it's called mining. And the blocks are put on do you remember that digital ledger that I talked about earlier? The blockchain. So the blocks then get placed on the blockchain, which are then used to create things like NFTs and things like that. And the amount of energy consumption that is required for the computers to mine is just crazy. I read this article by Forbes that says that the amount of electrical consumption by Bitcoin is more than the entire nation of Argentina. A little bit less than Ukraine, but more than the whole nation of Argentina. That to me is just crazy. Obviously, for me, the environmental impact, it makes me a bit uncomfortable. But dear friends, dear listeners, it doesn't have to stay this way. So this is what I mean about NFTs are a hot mess, but only as they currently are, because the way that the computers use the software at the moment is called something called proof of work. That's how they mine. That's how they use the software. It's called proof of work. But there is something called proof of state. And maybe you saw this post by Ross Draws, where he has decided to make an NFT with this new company or new cryptocurrency called Wax. And Wax is 125,000 times more efficient than Ethereum and 320,000 times more efficient than Bitcoin, which is obviously a massive difference. And then obviously it has this other slide where it compares it to the energy consumption of Facebook, which is also a lot less. So I can definitely see NFTs being a lot more feasible, and for me, if that is something that is changed, and I know that Ethereum is changing their system from proof of work to proof of state in the next coming years. So yes, I think the environmental impact at the moment is just too great, but it is going to change and be a lot more efficient, which is why it wasn't top of my list for problems that I have with NFTs. Okay, I just took a quick break, and if you're a musical theatre kid, or if you're into drama like I am, then you'll understand why I just spent about half an hour singing show tunes at the top of my voice, and now I might have no voice left. So we're going to carry on, but if I sound a bit more croaky, it's because I was singing my heart out, but like 5 minutes ago. So my final point on why I disagree with NFTs at the moment, and it is the one that, for me, it hits my heart a bit more because it affects all artists and really it's become quite a prevalent problem, is art theft. So many people's art, prominent artists, small-time artists, their art is being stolen. And it's not even just artists. As I said before, because NFTs don't necessarily have to be pieces of art. There have been actors, there have been musicians, there have been authors who they've shared something on social media, or someone has shared something of theirs. And then either an NFT bot has taken a picture or has made it into an NFT, or an individual has taken a picture and set it up as an account. Strictly speaking, with the art, generally what's been happening is people have been taking pictures of artwork or downloading them or screenshotting them, and then they've been setting up anonymous accounts on the NFT marketplaces and selling on the pieces of art as their own. And this is incredibly damaging to the confidence of artists, let alone just plain illegal. And yeah, just an awful thing to be happening. And it really, really, really frustrates me because there are almost no regulations in place on these NFT marketplaces to protect artists. You can set up an anonymous account. You don't have to verify who you are. And if they do have a verification process, it is so basic and really overlooked Then if unfortunately your artwork has been stolen and it has been turned into an NFT, what has happened is that when that blockchain was created and the NFT was put on that blockchain, it's permanent, and more likely than not, the person who has anonymously sold your artwork has sold it onto someone else, then they've sold it onto someone else, and they've sold it onto someone else. So the marketplaces, the people in charge of that, can take it down, and have been ordered on a couple of occasions to take things down, but can't necessarily retrieve the damage that has already been done. And it completely breaks copyright laws, but because the NFT world is in its infancy and cryptocurrency is in its infancy, there are far too many, there aren't enough ways to pin down the perpetrators and to really account for money and things like that. There was an artist who I really like called Devin L. Kurtz, and a journalist asked her if she thought that she had been a target of having her art stolen, and she checked, and just like that, true to that, her artwork had been stolen. Her art from way back when, someone had found it and they were using it to make NFTs and profit from it. She did get it taken down, but like I said before, it was kind of too late. If you think you're a traditional artist and you're safe and that you are beyond this, unfortunately, again, that's not true. And that's why NFTs can affect all artists and not just digital artists. It might benefit digital artists more, but the repercussions of the bad parts can apply to us all. There's another artist I really like called Kellogg's Loops, and he posted on his story not that long ago. He had made a beautiful watercolor painting of Billie Eilish, and I think it was almost straight after he posted it, someone had taken a picture, posted it as an NFT, and was selling it for thousands of dollars or whatever currency it was. Again, I think they succeeded in getting it taken down, but once it's up there at the moment as it stands, because obviously this could all change. They could be putting more of an effort in. The people who are running the marketplaces could be putting in more safety procedures to protect artists, better verification processes, and actually we just need to have a stronger legal system to pursue people who are stealing artwork. But just as it stands at the moment, NFTs do not protect their artists. And that is my least favorite thing about them. But I do have hope for the future, that hopefully they will correct this. They will put a proper system in place. And then hopefully digital artists will be able to use that to their benefit in a proper way that actually genuinely benefits them and genuinely benefits the art world. Thank you so much for listening to my rant about NFTs. I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you'll be more prepared as I will be more prepared. Be careful, there are bad people out there who will try and steal your artwork. So have a look on the NFT sites, maybe if you're a digital artist, and just check. And also, if you're still interested in making an NFT, I'm not saying don't do it necessarily, just be aware. I personally wouldn't, but be aware of the repercussions or consequences of doing that. Go in with your eyes wide open. And also remember that a lot of the NFTs that are being sold, the ones that are going for thousands and thousands of pounds, are rare, guys, and not necessarily the given. It's not going to happen that way necessarily. It's like a jackpot. But if you want to have a look and have a go, then by all means do so. Let me know in the comments if you have any experience with NFTs or if you have an opinion about it. My next video I'm so excited to do because I'm going to be doing traditional art again, which I've missed, it feels now, for so long. But I'm going to be doing a celebratory video of my 1 year of having been on YouTube. So I hope you'll join me back for that video. Thank you so much for joining me here, and I'll see you all on my next video. Bye everyone.